Hello friends, welcome to my channel Sushant Chess Quiz. Today we are at the next topic, that is we are going to continue the part of our opening preparation, and let us go straight away into the Greco's attack position. Here after the move bishop c5, white goes c3, black plays nf6, d4, e takes d4, c takes d4, bb4 check, knight c3, knight takes c4. All this we covered in the previous lesson, castle. In the first part I just mentioned that knight c3 was our main discussion and the main move is bishop c3. So today we will look into more detail. The point is very simple. If after bishop c3 white wants to play bc, then after d5 it is black who is simply better. He is a pawn up, center control is equivalent, he is about to castle since the bishop on c4 hangs, and his position is absolutely fine. White doesn't have enough for his pawn here. So white has to look for more aggressive and tactical means. The main move is d5. And here we have got very interesting analysis. This opening preparation that we will be doing can be used easily till 2000-2200 level of play. And let us see what are the options for black here. One of the main moves is bf6 here. Other than that, there is the move knight a5 or knight e5, which actually transpose. After knight e5, b takes c3, knight takes c4, and now comes queen d4. Black has to play precisely here. Perhaps the best move is castle over here. We will first look at if black tries to save his knights. Let's say he goes knight c d6, then comes queen g7. The idea is that after qg7, black wants to play queen f6 and hold on to his material. This is the first trap here. Now after queen takes f6, knight takes f6, rook e1 check, things become very difficult for black. If knight f e4, then we can simply go with the move knight d2 is good. After king d8, there is just bishop g5. After king f8 comes bishop h6 check, king g8, and the very strong rook e5. Now in order to guard g5, black has to either play knight d e5 or knight f e4. There is the very simple rook e1, and after f6 comes rook e7. Black pieces are totally paralyzed. Now rook e4 is a major threat, and so is rook g7. So it's game over. After knight d e4, we see that the e4 knight guards g5, f6 knight guards e4 and e8. So white plays the very strong knight d2. There is absolutely no defense now. Knight d2 allows rook g5 mate, and after d6 forced there is knight takes e4. d e4, knight f6 is mate, and knight e4, rook e8 leads to checkmate. Thus black's attempt to hold the material fails. So here black's only correct move is perhaps castling, returning one of the knights, queen takes c4, knight d6, and now queen d4 is playable, and also playable is queen g4. Here I also like the move queen f4. The queen simply stops the knight's move to f5. Q d4 is another very interesting alternative. And now no matter what black plays, be it rook e8 or b6, b6 is a very obvious attempt. After b6, bishop a3, white intends to ruin black's pawn structure. So here we can say that black's position is somewhat passive. After bishop a6, re1, queen f6, white can go for the trade-off pieces. After queen f6, gf6, bd6, cd. This position we can say that white has very good play. Rook e7 is coming up, and later on he can use knight d2 c4 in order to keep the a6 bishop blocked. Black should perhaps go for the line rook e8 here, when after bishop a3, rook e4, queen g3, knight f5, black is trying to free his pieces and he would be happy to trade the queens. But white also allows the same because of his development advantage. Queen g5, queen takes g5, knight takes g5, rook e5. Black attacks the pawn on d5, but white here has a very strong move f4. The point is simple, if rook takes d5, then rook e1 and the threats on e8 are unstoppable. Thus, rook e3 forced, and here comes rook e1. We can easily make out the deficit of pawn is not much of a problem. White's advantage is huge. He's already threatening the move g4, and also rook e3, knight e3, rook e1. So this position we can assess as very good for white. Now let's look at the main variation. The bishop can go to f6. So according to me, the best option for black is to go with the move bishop f6. Here he has very good chances. These lines, although we are covering mainly for white, we will see that black definitely has decent play and they are by no means forced to win for white. White goes with the move rook e1. He wants to take e4 now. So knight e7 almost forced. Rook takes c4 and not castle because white might get the move d6. So black himself plays d6 and here white goes with the move bishop g5. Already white is ahead in development and he is ready to force things. I will try to show you some very interesting analysis here. This position was reached in a man versus machine match. Deeper blue was white and Anand was black. And here Anand chose the move castle, which soon landed him in trouble. So after castle, the game continued bf6, gf6. That game went qd2, knight g6, knight d4. Knight is trying to cover the f5 and the b5 squares. f5, rook e1. White rook is just retreating behind. The other rook may come to c1 and white will soon put pressure on c7. White has another tactical idea in mind here. Black goes bd7 and here comes the very strong rook c1. It's a preparatory move to the concluding attack which we see soon. a6, bishop b3, f4, and here white has the very strong knight e6. Things were not going very well for black already. Most of his pieces were stuck, and now we see that after fe, d, bishop takes e6, which is almost forced, there is rook e6. When after perhaps the only move king h8, white has qc3 check followed by qc7, when white's position would have been winning. If black knows the theory completely, then he will have a sound game. I will try to show you two main options in the main variation now. So the move bishop g5 is practically forced. Now knight takes g5 and here black again has two choices. One is the risky castle and other is the move h6. Do note that after the very obvious move bishop f5, white has a winning position after queen f3 because b4 cannot be taken, queen f7 is coming up, and also we note that after castle there is re7, queen e7, queen f5, which is almost winning for white. So h6 here, and now there are two suggestions. One is the very simple, which I like the most, queen h5, castle, rook a1, attacking the knight on e7, knight f5, and now knight f3. After forcing black to commit and make some weaknesses on the king side, white simply retreats his knight. Now first point is, if queen f6, then there is the very strong g4. So black is compelled to further move one more of his pawn with g6, and after qg4, we can make out that there is no good use of this discovered attack here. So any move like knight e3 can easily be met by queen f4, knight c4, queen h6 when we see knight g5 and rook h4 are in the air. So any moment if black is not careful, the position can collapse. Perhaps the only correct move queen f6, which allows queen f4, and we see that g4 is a major threat here. Sooner or later white will have the move g4 and black still consolidating. He has not developed a8 and c8. I would suggest this as one of the main recommendations. This is very easily playable considering the fact that black will have to really find all his moves on his own, and we know till here, so that makes our task much easier. The other interesting move here is queen e2, just leaving the knight over here on g5. After hg, rook e1, it looks like black is going to lose the game instantly. After castle there is re7. This many would prefer because black has to find this difficult move b6 here. This is the only way to get into a survivable position. When after d takes c6, he plays f6 and tries to keep the position as closed as possible. White has the very interesting rook e3 good move here, and the rook can go to h3 in many lines. For instance, after c6, many games are played with the move rook h3, although I don't find it that convincing here. Rook h3, gh3 will threaten queen h5. Black can play g6 over there. When after queen f3, white has very good play. Black has moved several pawns and there is decent play. I do like the move rook b3 here, setting a very nasty trap. The point is that this time we see that the squares c6, d6, and in the upcoming lines after rook h3, gh3, now queen h5 is threatened. So after g6, queen f6, many squares have become weak and the position has become really difficult for black. There is no good way to protect f6 because knight g8 just allows e7, and after f5, queen c3 and white wins. But after rook b3, black can go with the move qc7. When after bd3, d5, g3, white has to play the game slowly, build up his position, and black is still struggling to coordinate his pieces. So he of course has decent compensation there. That is the reason I would prefer the other line in that case. Let us look at final line, short castle over here instead of the move h6. And here the last line is castle. When I have a deadly recommendation to make, there comes knight h7, king h7, queen h5 check, king g8, rook h4, f5, all these moves are forced. There comes queen h7 check, king f7 and rook h6. Things have become exceedingly difficult for black now. The biggest problem for black here is after any slow move like bd7 or queen e8, there is the very strong be2 when bh5 almost leads to mate in most variations. This compels black to play the move rook g8. Firstly, I guess no one would be able to find the move rook g8. It's such a difficult way to stop the coming mate. But now white just piles his pieces up. Rook e1, and after any move like bd7, if queen f8 then bb5, stopping all black pieces from coming out. And after bd7, we see rook e6, absolutely it's game over. Rook f6 check, k8, queen g8 is the mating threat, and b6, d, king e8, and here the waiting move rook g6, d5, rook g7, and it's time to resign for black. After rook g7, qg7, qf7 check, qd8, and multiple threats are there, and the black position collapses. Some of this analysis I had made in my playing days when sometimes I have tried to use this gambit. It's not a very sound gambit, I must say, but definitely we can use it around 2000 or 2200 level. I hope you will find the lesson useful and instructive. Thanks for your time.